Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to be your guide today. If you're a new business owner, or maybe you're just thinking about taking that leap and becoming one, you've probably searched the internet and immediately felt totally overwhelmed by the sheer volume of advice out there, right? Well, today I'm putting on my marketing consultant hat, and we are going to cut right through all that noise. We're taking 35 essential business tips from Doken and distilling them down into a highly focused, actionable playbook. We're basically building your custom roadmap to success, step by step. But before we start building, we gotta face a pretty harsh reality. 80%. Studies actually show that around 80% of e-commerce businesses fail to thrive. They launch with these massive high hopes, and then they just kind of fade away. It's an intimidating statistic for sure, and it's definitely the giant elephant in the room for any aspiring entrepreneur. So, looking at that massive failure rate, the single most important question we have to ask ourselves today is right here. How do you survive? How do you make sure you're actually in that thriving 20%? Well, you don't do it by guessing. You do it with structured, proven guidance. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's a quick look at our masterclass agenda. We've categorized everything into a logical blueprint so you won't get lost. We're going to start with beating the odds, move into your financial foundation, cover the digital storefront, jump over to marketing and engagement, streamlining your inventory, and finally, protecting your assets. Let's get right to it. Section 1, Beating the Odds, Identifying Your Market Strategy. Look, every successful venture absolutely must start with solid pre-launch prep. Before you even think about selling a single product, you have to analyze your competitors to identify gaps in the market. What are they missing? Where are they dropping the ball? By genuinely understanding your target audience's specific needs, preferences, and behaviors, you can slide right into those exact market gaps. This research is the crucial foundation for knowing exactly what sets your business apart from everyone else. You really have to refine your offerings before you launch them to the world. Section 2, Your Financial Foundation, Securing the Base. Optimized financial management is honestly the true key to an e-commerce business's survival. You've got personal finances on one side, business finances on the other, and frankly, never the two shall meet. It is an absolute strict necessity to open a dedicated business bank account and use a dedicated business credit card for your expenses. Keeping them completely separated is what separates the amateur from the professional. It maintains a super clear financial picture, and most importantly, it protects your personal assets. And hey, while we're on the topic of your bank accounts, you need to actively build a financial cushion. You must create a reserve fund or some emergency savings. Now, why does this matter so much? Because in business, the unexpected is literally guaranteed. A financial cushion is exactly what prevents a minor financial hiccup, like, say, a sudden drop in sales or an emergency equipment repair, from completely derailing your day-to-day operations. Section 3, The Digital Storefront, Building Your Presence. Whether you're operating purely online or you have a physical brick-and-mortar location, your website serves as the digital face of your business. And what's really interesting here is that the absolute first step in driving organic traffic to it is keyword research. You've got to identify the exact terms your target audience is typing into Google. Incorporating these relevant keywords into your site's content, meta tags, and headings makes it infinitely easier for people to naturally find you when they're searching. Once they actually find you, their experience needs to be flawless. In today's digital age, users expect immediate loading times. Nobody has patience for a slow site. So, step 1, optimize your website speed. You can do this easily by compressing images and minifying code. Step 2, ensure your site is fully mobile responsive, meaning it displays perfectly on smartphones and tablets. If you ignore this, slow speeds and clunky mobile sites directly equal lost potential customers and incredibly high bounce rates. Improving your speed and responsiveness directly improves user engagement. It's a real game changer. Section 4, Marketing and Engagement, Attracting and Retaining Customers. Okay, so you've got a great product, a lightning-fast site, and a secure financial base. Awesome. Now it's time to build a genuinely loyal customer base using a multi-pronged marketing strategy. First up, social media engagement is non-negotiable. Share compelling visual content and promptly respond to comments and messages to build that community loyalty. Second, word of mouth is incredibly powerful, so create referral programs that actively reward your existing customers for bringing in new business. And third, leverage email marketing newsletters to keep your audience informed about new products and special offers. Actually, platforms like MailChimp can even integrate directly with your storefront to make the whole process totally seamless. I love this quote because it brilliantly illustrates the exact mindset you need for all of your marketing. Treat your customers like invited guests to a party. Breaking up all our tactical data with this philosophy just reminds us that outstanding, highly responsive customer service is ultimately the thing that sets you apart from your competitors. Let's see how this builds into Section 5, streamlining your inventory, optimizing back-end operations. A fantastic customer experience relies heavily on managing the flow of your goods and minimizing those dreaded stockouts. To do this efficiently, you really need to classify your inventory using the ABC analysis system. Basically, you categorize items based on demand and value. Category A items are your high-value, low-quantity goods. Category B are your medium-value, medium-quantity goods. And Category C, those are your low-value, high-quantity goods. Classifying items this way helps you prioritize exactly how you manage your stock levels. It ties up your capital much more effectively and ensures you're fulfilling orders efficiently.
Finally, Section 6, protecting your assets, cybersecurity.
I've got to alert you to a very real danger here. Small businesses very often face cyber attacks simply because hackers assume they lack the resources to protect themselves. So the absolute crucial point here is understanding and utilizing multi-factor authentication, or MFA. Guys, a password alone is no longer enough. MFA requires multiple layers of verification, like a code sent to your phone right after you type your password. It is a completely non-negotiable standard for protecting both your business infrastructure and your customers' extremely sensitive data. To quickly summarize your final security mandates, implement that MFA immediately. Enforce complex, strong passwords across all your accounts. No more password 123, okay? Perform regular backups of your critical business data so you can always recover from a disaster. And finally, enable automatic software updates to patch any sneaky vulnerabilities. Remember, protecting the digital castle is just as important as building it in the first place. Wow, we have covered a massive amount of ground today, distilling decades of consulting knowledge down into a clear, structured path. But, a playbook is completely useless if it just sits on a shelf collecting dust. So, I want to leave you with this one thought. Look at everything we've talked about today, from opening that separate bank account to speeding up your mobile site to turning on multi-factor authentication. What is your next immediate step? Seriously, pick just one thing from this explainer right now and take structured action on it today. Your business's survival and its ultimate success depends on it. Thanks so much for joining me.